Hey, back again with another project for you. You might see some changes on the channel. I'm gonna rebrand my Jack of Trades page for my new LLC that I'm gonna kind of use for the projects that I'm making. It's gonna be called Raccoon Creations, RACKOON. That makes the image make sense. But today, what are we working on? I have a guy that worked for me in the Air Force. He's getting ready to PCS to Pennsylvania, so we're going to make him a custom knife. We're starting off with the Wood River Modified Skinner knife kit. This is from Woodcrafters. Comes with all the set pins, the keys, the knife blank, and a sheath. So what we're going to do with this is get it ready for handles that are going to be engraved on the CNC machine and then milled down, not milled down, but we'll get it all shaped and everything to fit the handle here. This is the first time I'm doing a knife, but it seems like a pretty good personalized going away gift that's pretty utilitarian at the same time. So we're gonna get going on that and follow along. So what do I have rigged up here? This is the first time I'm using this and I don't have a fence. So I took the fence off my table saw and I used a piece of wood to space it. Just some particle board stuff, kind of like this. And then measured side to side and clamped it down. That should be more than good enough for what I need to do. So what I'm gonna do is cut this down so that we can get over on the CNC machine and put the carves in. I think that's where the decision on what wood I want to use is going to come into play, because if I carve on the walnut, then it's not very noticeable. Or if I was to use one of these, it'd be a little bit more noticeable once I carved into it. So I'm gonna decide on that. Next thing you'll see is the wood I chose on the bandsaw. All right, so I lied. Said next time you see me is gonna be the wood choice on the bandsaw, but it's gonna be the wood choice on the chop saw. So I just got finished making that shadow box. This is kind of one of the cutoffs. A lot of really good maple still on here, so what I'm gonna do is rip down this side right here, and I'll have enough space here and here to cut this down to the right thickness. So that's what we're gonna do. We had to trim it down just a hair because it wasn't clearing this knuckle right here. We're ready. All right, bandsaw's a no-go. I think I might need to kind of go through it. Just kind of figure out how to get it tuned up, which the guy kind of said I might need to go through it a little bit, so not too upset about that. So another piece of wood, and we're just gonna keep planing it down until it's a more workable thickness. So here we go. Kind of left off with getting this wood milled down. It's about 0.43 inches, so a little shy of a half of an inch. We needed about 3/8, but I'm good with it being that way. So what have we done since? I kind of started getting this carve started. So obviously, like that whole section of the program's piece of wood is not going to be there. So that's kind of why it's designed how it is. And got the guy's rank. His name was Lecates, but we always messed around and call him Lecates because everybody else in the work center had a Hispanic last name. So we made his Hispanic. And then down here, you see that it says, looks like weather is rolling in. That's kind of a joke between our work center about, you know, working throughout the Continental Divide and being able to get around when winter storms are rolling through. So you see I got size of the wood all programmed in up here. Hardened maple, 30-degree V-bit. So we'll get this carved up. I'm gonna get this carved, and then what I'll do after that is mock up a template to place the shape of the handle around what's being carved, and then we'll cut that out and probably route it down from there. So that's what we'll be doing next. Have to get this thing carving. So it's ready to go for tomorrow. Away. Already set. We're not going to use our dust boot. Spindles on. Spindle ready. So I think we finally got these dialed in enough to keep working on them. So obviously we're going with this one and this one. So biggest thing was I had to make sure I had the handle switched over for the opposite side. Pinholes are good. Pinholes are good. All looks good here. So we're going to throw some walrus oil on there. We're going to get that grain popping. And then we're going to hit it with some polyurethane, seal it up, and then I'm going to come back through, hit it with some paint inside the carving, and then we'll hit it again with some more sealant. So we're back at it today. What I've pretty much been doing is just sanding and shaping to where I have both the flat handle pieces pretty well shaped to the size of the handle. So I think what I'm going to do next, because I'm not actually reading any directions or following any rules, I'm going to get some double-sided tape, and one piece at a time, I'm going to take this over to the drill press and drill out those holes. And then that should get me to the point where I know I'm going to be able to pin through it, and then I can start shaping the sides and tapping the bigger holes for the hardware. So that's what we're up to. All right, now that we have those drilled, we are now going to get the holes drilled for the like screw pieces, whatever they're called. So what I've done is I've taped off the bit for as far as I want to go. Not too bad. think we're gonna leave her right there for now and keep pressing, and then we'll kind of dry fit all of these. Not horrible. All right, now that these are drilled out, let's see if they give them a little test fit. Alright, so we're back. Off camera, we've been doing quite a bit. Been using the sanders, fine-tuned sanding, shaping, all that. I put some poly on there to kind of fill it in a little bit, sanding them back down. Just threw a little bit of walrus oil on there. Because there are some dry spots, but these are pretty much at the point where I'm gonna put them on. So what I did was I had the set pins in, I put them together and kind of sanded them down to shape them kind of pretty much almost exactly the same. So I'm gonna let the oil dry a little bit, and then we'll get to putting the knife together. All right, I didn't have any epoxy, so I just put a little bit of dab of super glue on both sides. But you can see you got all the set screws in, shaped, the handles all shaped. I think it's gonna be a killer little gift. But that's all we're gonna have for today. Otherwise, hope you guys have a powerful weekend, and thanks for watching.